Hello. I wanted to show you what I got in this box. This is a mixed bag box from a company called the Electronic Gold Mine. And you select the size of box you want, and they just jam it full of electronic stuff. And then you get to throw it on your floor and sort it out into piles and find out what is in it. So, a lot of the stuff I didn't know what it was. This is a resistor array, fixed resistor array, and I think I'm going to take this up onto my workbench and play with it to see what exactly it does. And these are little fuses. Look at that. You see how it works? You put one lead here and one lead there, and it's only connected by this tiny little wire here. See? And there's a spring on the side that flies out if this wire burns out. It's a lot like, they gave me a bunch of these fuses too. It's a lot like this kind of fuse too, obviously. This fuse. Focus on this one, my friend. There's a little bitty filament inside that gets burnt out when too much current flows through it. Right? Same thing with this one. But this one has a little bigger filament in the side. I don't know if I'm going to do anything with these, but these are very valuable. I was very pleased to see these. I use these a lot on my devices. Maybe I'll bring this up too on my workbench and show you. Oh, and these I was so pleased to get. I've had to purchase these and they're very expensive. You plug them onto your circuit board, and then you can just stick wires into these little ports and screw them down. And then if you don't need that wire anymore, you just take the wire out. You don't have to unsolder it. So there's lots of different sizes of that. And this, I've always wanted to have one of these. I've just never had a use for it. It's a little selector switch. Doink! It's hard to switch. But they're tiny little switches that I think this is probably an SMD kind of thing. But a lot of this stuff is obvious. A bunch of potentiometers of different sizes and purposes. Not sure what this has a lot of pins on it, and I'm not sure what you would be pushing. Ooh, it's got détentes on it. It's got little, hear that? This one's smooth. You can't hear it when I turn it. Oh, but there is a little, there's a little dent right there in the center, so you know when you're in the center of the filament. And of course they gave me a bunch of resistors and a bunch of capacitors, some big honkin' capacitors. I assume these are capacitors. What's it say on there? See, it doesn't really say a capacitor value. It just talks about how many volts AC it will take. Looks like a capacitor. And some LEDs. Some cute little guy. There's another one. With some buttons. And a whole bag of resistors. And this thing, I'm not sure what exactly it was for. It's obviously, it's not a PCB, it's a PWB. I don't know if it has anything to do with anything. But this is a little piezo buzzer. So it obviously had, maybe this was an alarm. This was like you plug something in here into this side, and something into there into that side, and then the buzzer goes off when they don't communicate. I don't know. But I don't have any use for it except for this buzzer. Actually, I went to the electronic gold mine to buy buzzers. And the fact is that they're really cheap. Like the buzzer I bought was like $1.25 or something. And it was not enough to warrant, like you have to buy a minimum amount of stuff in order for them to ship it. So I thought, well, maybe I'll just get a whole bunch of these little buzzers. But instead, I went to their miscellaneous tab and got this mixed bag that had a buzzer in it. So now I have 2 buzzers, I guess. So these are transistors, and this is a little pile of relays. This relay is encapsulated in a little can. Let's see, there's a little picture of what the relay does. And the same thing happens here, but on a bigger scale. And you can actually see the switch in there. See, there's 3 little sheets of metal, and at the very top there's points of contact, and currently the middle one is touching the right, but when you put a certain amount of current through it, it'll switch over to the left. And this is some sort of inductor, I suppose, that senses when the right amount of current's gone through. I don't know. Same thing's going on over here, but this is cool. It's just cool to look at. This is how I spent the afternoon, playing around with this stuff. What else? This is a pile of temperature sensors. Apparently, I had to look this up. That's one kind, and that's another kind. They look cool. Then they sent me some little. I think these are laser readers, like for a CD player. I think. I don't think it's a camera, but there's obviously a lens right there in the middle. I don't think it's a camera. I think it's a laser thing. And they sent me a lot of them. And then this thing, which it's some sort of connector. Is that all I got? Some interesting little I think it's a transistor in here. It's in its own little case, and it's got a bulb on it. It's protected by a little window. Isn't that interesting? Why would you need that? It's really complicated. This must be some sort of way to anchor it into the PCB. And heat sink. Oh, and here's some little RCA ports, which I will be using. I think I might use these on a current project. Maybe. Here, I'll take this with me. I'll take this with me too. Okay, so this is actually the project that I got my little buzzer for. You see, there's my little buzzer. That's the $1.25 buzzer. And a couple LEDs and a switch and a little button battery. And this is what it does. turns on a light. No. So this is a continuity tester. So if you have a wire between these two wires here, the thing I like about this one is that red means no contact, green means yes contact, and they switch off and on. And usually, here, this is, I'll turn this little guy off to save energy. This is what we usually use for continuity testing. And these leads are the things that you touch. So, like this. And this is just to tell, you know, like if you have a circuit and you want to make sure that that this side of the circuit is connected to that side, you put one thing there and one thing there. Come on, connect, my friends. Prove I'm right. There we go. There. But if you see, there is no connection between these two. So if I do it from here to there, it says yes. If we go there to there, it says yes, because why? I don't know. Oh, because it's going through the speaker. Duh. So, interesting fact, if you didn't know, speaker is one continuous coil, goes from one wire to the other. And these little numbers here on the back here, where does it say? It says 8 ohms. How about some light, friend? See, it says 8 ohms right there. If you want to test if your speaker is good, down here, I'm testing how many ohms there are. 8.6, 8.5. So that's how many ohms it should have. So that's a good speaker, right? But, you know what? I've never even tried. I actually bought 2 pizzas. I don't know if pizzas are the same. I think they are. We'll find out. Put it on one side, on the other side. No, there's no connection. Kind of makes sense because actually, now that I'm thinking about it, a piezo buzzer means that there's a piece of quartz between the copper and the other side, so there would be no connection on that one. But what about, oh, here's a good old speaker. What about this speaker? What's this one say? This one says 6 ohms. So let's test it. 6 point, oh, I missed it. 6.2, did I see that? 5.5, 5.6. Close enough, I guess. So that works too. So yeah, anyways, that's a little lesson. So that's what I got my speaker for. Now let's test this while we're at it. So you test your you test how many ohms are in resistors too. So let me just zoom in a little bit. Just so curious about what this does. Let's find out. 91 ohms. I'm guessing what happens is you have a bunch of leads connected to each pin, and the resistance increases as you go up. So you can attach certain things to it. I don't know. So 91 ohms, 90.9, 91, 90.9, 91. So they're all 91 ohms. Oh, wait, and this one's 40. 91, 40. So from here to here, there's 40.5 ohms of resistance. But from here to here, there's 91. What about from here to there? 150. 150. Oh. Oh. I'm confused. I'm very confused. What about this? I don't get that. I don't understand that. I'm going to have to do some research. I don't know what that means. Why is it 90.9 between these two pins, but 150 between these two, and 40 between these? Why? Does it have anything to do with this marking? I don't see anything in that marking. Test these. I just like the way this looks. It looks like hard candy. I like the way it jingles too. That's why I got into electronics. So this has the same markings, so it should have the same measurements. To see 40, 90. Is there any that don't have the markings on them? These are all the same. But I saw some in here that were smaller. Like physically smaller. Oops. Little capacitor jumped in there. Get out of here, you little capacitor. How about this? Nope, same. Oh, that's my little reader that tells me it's timing out so it doesn't waste my batteries. Isn't that nice? So I thought there were some smaller ones in here, but maybe I was hallucinating. Wait. That little capacitor got in there again. Get out of here, you. Capacitors should not mix with resistors unless they're filtering. Yeah, maybe that's a good use for one of these filter arrays. Sort of sort of like a filter bank. So that each... I don't understand. I'm going to go look on the internet why this is and what it does. So meanwhile, I'm going to take this buzzer off. Put these away. Jingle. jingle. Just putting a little gloop on the back here to make the solder melt a little faster and cleaner. The gloop is called solder paste. And off we go. Come on, buddy. Get off of there. We don't want you on that board. We want you on my board. Making sounds for me. Usually just kind of work it off, but maybe it's not cooperating today. So this is braided wire. It's braided copper wire. And you see how I've used it in the past. You heat it up and you put it against some solder, and the solder kind of wicks into it. That's why they call it solder wick. So, in you go. Here we go. These pins are very small. I'm going to have to be very particular about how I use this. So, if you didn't know, this has resistors on it too, but they're eensy beensy little resistors. Oh, can't see. It's those things right there. Let's see. Usually, you're not supposed to measure these things while they're in the circuit, but we'll see if we can. It says that they're 0.2 ohms. That one's 0.1 ohm. But again, I wouldn't actually trust that because it's in the circuit and you're trying to read the resistance of a thing that's connected to all these other things. So you're probably reading the resistance of all the other things too. So if I only knew what this was, then I could look it up and see if there's a schematic diagram of it and find out what they are. FB. FB. What's FB? Usually these things are marked like R1, R2 if they're resistors, but this is marked FB. Because this is marked C1, so that's a capacitor. FB. So much I don't know. And this is a tiny little integrated circuit right here. And you can tell because it says IC on it. I see one. Do you see one? So, what else was I going to show you? Okay, hold on just a second. I just got something in the delivery box on my front porch. Using the dullest scissors on planet Earth. I think it is what I want. Yes. So these are gonna be, hopefully, the leads I need for my continuity tester. So thank you to Amazon for providing me these leads. So these don't actually fit this. This is for an RCA cable for a stereo or whatever, and obviously no fitty. But I do have ones that do fit. These are banana jacks, and these fit right in there like that. And we'll just make sure that this is connected to that by using this continuity tester. That I fortunately just crafted for myself. So, okay. Touch this end. That end. Did you see that? You heard it. You heard it. I heard it. We all heard it. It works. So this is what I will attach this to this, and then obviously the other one is black. So this to that, and all the stuff to do is to mount this inside of a little case, and it will be my functional continuity tester. Hooray! Hooray for me! Progress is being made on the case. Look, see, remember this door I found? Well, I just cut a piece of that door off, and then I routed out the middle of it so that this would fit right in there, just like that. Doink. Deep enough so that the switches and the thingamajiggers can fit in. Oops. And it should all fit in there just right. And I was going to use aluminum panel, but look, I just figured maybe I should try to slice off a piece of this old walnut that I had, and it fits just right. Look at that. That is going to be slick. And it should be just wide enough for this to fit through. To figure out some way to attach this to the bottom so that the sound can escape. But I've been screwing in these, and I'm going to leave these unglued until the last minute. And I screwed in the switch. And the one thing I didn't do was make a little hole for the sound to come out. I'll do that at the very last, just to make sure everything fits. So I just started soldering in this little post here. I'll do this one. Good. Okay, so before I glue everything on, I'm going to put some of this stuff on it to make it pretty. Go. Isn't that pretty? Tung oil product. It's a really nice finish. So, here we go. Just gotta put some screws here and here. Okay. So we're going to test something, and we're going to test this circuit here, which I brought up earlier, and I forgot to mention, this is also a continuity tester, and it's one that I purchased on the electronic goldmine website. It's pre-made, and they even send you all the little pieces. It's a little kit. Put all the little pieces in a bag, and they say just solder it together, and I did, and it works. It's very nice. So I'm going to test it. I make things like this myself too. It's kind of embarrassing to show that I made a kit, but it was really relaxing to make a kit. You should buy a kit yourself. Look, this is one that I made myself. See, I made that. I did that all myself. But this, someone else did. So let's test it. Why not? No continuity. Let's see. Is there continuity between here and here? No. How about here and here? No. How about here and here? Yes. Oh, I forgot to show you. I did drill a hole, and I put some fabric in the hole, so you can hear it a little better. What about this? Is there continuity? Yes. No. No. Yes. So there we go. Ta-dam! End of video.